What the am I wearing? Me making my YouTube comeback in a hoodie and a sweats is not a good sign for our mental well-being. I don't think you guys understand how badly I want to be a YouTuber. YouTube is my home, and I used to, back in the day, be a YouTuber, and that was like my biggest platform when I was a martial artist. But every time I try to come back on this platform, I feel like anything that I'm doing is not good enough because it seems like every person that is blowing up on YouTube these days is some kind of filmmaker. I finally looked in the mirror and said, Donavan, what you lack in effort and talent, you make up for in personality and mental illness. And that's gonna be what drives your content. So I'm taking off my perfectionist hat and I'm just showing up in the way that I know how. That being said, I've been in a little bit of a creative rut, so I wanted to document my process of coming out of a creative rut. One of those things being making a YouTube video, because I think if I was able to put more effort into long form content that didn't have to be posted every single day, that would feel more exciting to me. Something that I have been doing that has been really helpful for getting me creatively inspired is, oh shocker, reading. I've always loved reading. When I was a kid, like, I could spend hours in the bookstore. I would read like a book from the time my mom picked me up from school, from the time we got home, like I had gone through a book. But as I've grown up, I just haven't kept up with it, and I think a big reason for that is because reading a lot of times seems very elitist. It feels like it's not enough that you simply want to read. It's like, oh well, if you don't read these or you read this kind of thing, you're lowbrow or whatever. And I just decided to dismiss all of that. The books that have gotten me back into reading are YA queer novels. I've started approaching reading the same way I approach TV or content. Like, I'm gonna gravitate towards what's fun for me, and I typically balance like things that are actually challenging my brain and things that are just trash that I enjoy and want to rot to. Let's go spend a ridiculous amount of money stocking up our book pile at Barnes & Noble. You were supposed to stop me. I have to floor it back home because I have a client call at 3 o'clock and it's currently 2:30 and it's like a 20 to 25 minute drive. So, all right. Here's the haul. The first one is Go as a River by Shelley Reed. Honestly, the back of the book didn't excite me that much, but all of the praise and commentary around this book really inspired me. Next is To Kill a Mockingbird. We all know this book. I've actually read this book already in 9th grade for required reading, as we always did, but it's funny because it's the only required reading I actually read outside of school. In high school, I did not read anything else because required reading is the enemy of joy for me. Next is Red, White, and Royal Blue. I'm pretty sure this is a Netflix show or some type of show, but like it was politics and it's gay, so I'm like, yeah, sounds messy. Sounds like a good time. 1984, this was also required reading, but I didn't read it. But like as an adult, I feel like I'll be able to appreciate it a lot more, especially considering the world that we live in at this time. A Little Life, I saw a few booktubers recommend this book, and the back actually really did intrigue me. It's about 4 college classmates who moved to New York in search of fame and fortune. It's about the families we are born into and those that we make for ourselves. And again, as somebody who is, I'm all about chosen family. Chosen family is such a beautiful thing. The next one is The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dave. This was on the shelf. I read the back. I was intrigued. Very exciting. It appears that there's a big mystery element to this. The plot seemed really exciting, so I'm having a good time reading this. I also tried to balance like length of books in case I'm into a little rut and I just want the like instant gratification of reading a book. I got some that were smaller and then some that were bigger. And this is the one that I am the most excited to read because the plot seemed really juicy. A few booktubers recommended this one, but I also picked it up off the shelf and read the back and I was like, oh, I'm hooked. It's basically about a white woman who steals an Asian woman's entire identity, including the manuscript or novel that she had just finished, and publishes it as her own, takes on her identity, blah, 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 blah. Sounded fun. Sounded like a good time. I'm probably gonna read this one first. But before I can read any of these, I need to finish the novel that I was already reading, which is They Both Die at the End. This is another really popular book, another YA, gay, whatever. Today's my first yoga class back in a couple weeks. I went on vacation in Miami, ate down, and fell out of my fitness regimen, yeah. And of course, I don't know how to ease myself into anything, so I'm doing a power class, which is basically where they torture you in a hot room for an hour. I know I will feel good about myself at the end of it, but I cannot tell you how much I don't want to do it. But hey, There's probably something you don't want to do right now, but you can do it anyways. You don't have to figure out a way to want to do it. You just kind of like have to do it. I always despise getting back into a fitness regimen, but once I'm in it, I'm like, hey, like this is the greatest thing ever. Like, why was I not doing this sooner? Wow, exercise really does improve somebody's mood and mental clarity. My external body feels great. My internal organs are screaming at me, but my mind does feel refreshed. I've joined the cult. Guys, I swear I resisted as long as I could. I got a 4-pack of Poppy. I tried a few flavors. Some I've liked, some I haven't liked. This is the cola flavor. Let's give her a try. Excuse you. Rain, I am doing science right now. Okay, that does taste like a Coke. I think this is my favorite flavor so far. Okay, this is really giving as advertised because, okay, I'm not really a soda drinker at all, but sometimes all I want is a crisp Coke. They're so good. And this is actually giving that, but like for only 25 calories and, you know, not a lot of the bad stuff in it. I'm working on it, Rain. You see me working on it. Here you go, your majesties. That's not yours, right? You guys are in the wrong bowl. That's yours. That's yours. Also, we got a package. I can't remember if I told you guys this or not, but up my staircase, I'm trying to do like a memorabilia little thing on the walls for all the concerts I've been to. So I've been going on eBay and finding posters for all of the concerts that I've been to, as many as I can find, and this one's probably the most exciting because this was one of my first concerts. This was like my second concert. Does anybody else, like when they get a package, know that they could just go get like scissors or a knife and easily open the package, but instead they insist on making life more difficult for themselves by fighting for their life to get the tape off the package? Am I stupid? Yes. The Lady Gaga Monster Ball Tour poster. This was the tour that came out when she did the Fame Monster. I was 12 years old when I saw this, and I saw this with a man, enough said. I just saw her again for the second time at her Mayhem Ball tour where she was absolutely phenomenal, but I'm like, do I put this poster like over here next to that one, or do I put them in the order that I saw them and therefore it would be closer to like the bottom of the stairs? Comment down below and let me know what you think, because I value your opinion and I probably actually won't hang this up until you tell me your opinion. So something I really try to remind myself when I'm in a creative rut is that simple pleasantries don't have to be a luxury. Life is supposed to be pleasant. I know that's crazy, especially in something where we live in. But like, don't lose sight of the fact that every day of your life should be joyful, not just Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So currently it's Tuesday and I just put a bath bomb from Lush in my bathtub. I have this book that I'm gonna read as I take this bath. I have some sushi from Sprouts and I have a candle that I'm about to light. Being in a creative rut is typically a result of things feeling stale. It's like that episode of SpongeBob where Squidward is just going through the motions over and over again to the point where nothing feels exciting anymore. And the answer to getting out of a creative rut is actually very simple. It's just not easy. You have to give yourself permission to approach whatever your craft is differently. However, for most creatives, that is a very scary thing to do because building any kind of success in any creative field is incredibly difficult. So when you finally find something that works, it can be a little scary to do something different because you've worked so hard just to get to the point where anything can work. But you also have to remember that you are a creative and you know that if you keep doing what you feel like you're supposed to do and you leave no room for what you want to do, you are inevitably going to burn everything to the ground. And as somebody who has pivoted and changed things up many, many times, I want to navigate you through the process of how you can start to make that pivot. 1, start looking for subtle ways you can make changes to your craft while maintaining the core things that you are well known for that work for you. So using me as an example, I talk about personal branding, I talk a lot about mindset, and the core of my message stays pretty consistent throughout my content, but the way that I channel that message will change. So sometimes I'll channel that message through pop culture and music references. references. Sometimes I will make a coffee while talking about these things. I'm still giving my audience what they followed me for and what works, while giving myself permission to explore things differently, and I'm opening up doors for my audience to see other aspects of my personality so that I don't feel stale, but I still feel cohesive. The second thing that you should do is always leave a percentage of your content to just have fun and play. Not only do I suggest this because you might find that one of those off-the-wall ideas does really well and allows you space to pivot a little bit quicker, but two, because I think as creatives, it's really important that we feel like we own our art. Whether our art is content, whether our art is painting, whether our art is writing, I think oftentimes we get in creative ruts when we feel like our craft is no longer ours, it's only for the audience. And so sometimes I will purposely rebel and I will post something that I know probably isn't going to do well, but it's just something I wanted to post, and that helps me remember that, like, my content is mine. My craft is mine. Anything that I make is for me first, and then it's for my audience. And lastly, you should look and see if there is another platform where you can exercise these other off-the-wall creative ideas so that you don't taint what you're building, but you have a space where you can just feel that sense of play again. For me, that's what my YouTube channel is. My YouTube channel is not another platform where I'm just gonna sit here and be perfectly curated all the time and say the perfect thing in every which way. It's where I can be a little more unfiltered. It's where I can be a little more imperfect. It's where I can let my personality shine through a little bit more. It's where there's more space for me to show multiple sides to myself. It was a pretty light day. I had my group coaching call with my Creative Corner membership this morning, and then I had a call with, yeah, I can say this. I had a call with Adobe because I'm partnering with them on a couple Instagram videos. I needed to change the scenery for reading because I was feeling a little cramped in the apartment. So we are at my favorite local bookstore. And it's not just a bookstore, it's also a vinyl record store and a coffee shop. 3 things that everybody who wants to be better than everybody else loves. Well, that was a bust. I get there and all the tables are filled and there's like a swarm around the tables. It's ridiculous. Can't you see I'm trying to have a main character moment and read a cute little book in a cute little local bookstore? Like, what are you doing here? I hate when people like the things that I like. I'm the first person to like anything. And I can't just go to like a cafe because I already ordered a drink from there. We might as well try it. It's a rose chai with pistachio milk. I mean, that is delicious. And I did get stickers. I can never help myself but visit the sticker section whenever I go there. I got sorry I left you on red. I didn't mean to open it. Exactly. I got stop being mean to yourself. I got, has anyone tried unplugging the United States and plugging it back in? And lastly, I got brat. There is an acai bowl place right here, and that could be good for dinner. Do people read books in acai bowl places? Well, they do now. So I finished the book. The ending got me. I'm really glad that this book exists because I think its intention is to obviously call upon us to think about what it means to live and what we would do if we were faced knowing that we are in our final moments. That being said, I think that's where the emotion from this book comes from. I don't think most of the emotion I felt while reading this came from the actual characters in the book, but more so applying what the characters are going through to my life. And in some ways, that is good storytelling. I mean, oftentimes we cry through stories where we see ourselves in the characters or in the plot or whatever. I'm glad I read it because regardless of the reason, it made me feel something. It made me think and it challenged me to look at life a different way. And I think if a book can do that, then it was well worth the read. Also, I didn't tell you, but me and one of my friends made macrame today, and I love how it looks in my little space. And maybe, you know, a new crafting hobby is unlocked. When I took guitar lessons as a teenager, I played on electric, and that's what I learned on, which in my opinion was a big mistake because most of the music that I want to learn to play is played on acoustic, and like the difficulty it takes to execute a chord on an acoustic guitar versus an electric guitar. Like, I know my chords, but like on an acoustic, you get this like buzzing sound. Okay, well that actually kind of ate. But you get this buzzing sound if you don't execute the chord literally perfectly. Like, putting the perfect amount of pressure, having your arm or your wrist curved the right way, like making sure your fingers are positioned on a, you know, good part of the fret, like getting a single chord out on an acoustic guitar compared to an electric guitar. I feel like I've never played guitar before in my life. So in today's creative rut exercise, I am playing the guitar. And let me tell you something. I am realizing that it really be that damn phone. The more things I do away from my phone, the more creatively inspired I feel. The more happy I feel. I saw a quote on another YouTube video. I really wish I remember who had said it. But it was a quote that they were quoting, so... Okay. And it basically said that people aren't bored today, they're anxious. I'm not ever really bored because at any point in time, I just pull this thing out and I start scrolling. But I do get anxious a lot because there's always an influx of information from every corner, a million opinions, a million this blah, 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 blah. When you have so many voices all the time, it can be hard to figure out which one is yours speaking. Excuse you. Hello. This is Rain's house. I'm just living in it. Also, why is it every time I vlog, I look my worst? Y'all never see me when I actually get dressed. Both of you, I'm trying to make my morning coffee at the moment. Could you maybe give, you don't, these are espresso beans. You guys don't want that. You want up. That's what you want. You want up? Hey, you want up? This way you want, yes, I know. Come on. This is what he literally yells at me because he wants to be picked up. It's really cute, sometimes annoying. It's very common that I have to figure out how to make my morning coffee with one arm. I can't with you. I can't with you. You are so handsome. Up again? Okay. Okay, come on. You and I, we went through the trenches. You know, you've been with me since I was broke. Your brother, he came in when we had a little more money. My favorite part of making coffee is having to like do the tamp. Like you put it here and then you just give her a... That is joy. We're making a pumpkin spice latte. I'm really trying to limit myself to one caffeinated beverage a day because normally I would make like a coffee in the morning and then I'd have a matcha midday. And it's hard because now it's like, well, do I want matcha or do I want coffee? And I have to choose one and I can't have both. This is not an actual problem. Okay, I've been holding out on you. We're also gonna use this cookie butter cold foam that I got from Sprouts. This slaps. One thing you all need to know about me is that I'm talented. I'm gonna wrap up the vlog here. I hope you guys enjoyed this first little episode. I think I might make this a series and title it something like the Creative the Creative Survival Guide. I basically just want to document what it's like being a full-time creative or just a creative in general and how to navigate the mental, technical barriers and all the wins, the losses, the good, the bad that comes with pursuing a creative career. Basically, like I want the vibe of these vlogs to be like, put it on while you're working or creating or doing something and just like, let's be cozy. I hope you have a great day and I want to remind you that you're not gonna feel like you matter once you achieve some type of external success. You're gonna achieve the external success that you want because you understand that you matter right now. See you later.